Now let's find out what's in the small bag. You already know many of these, but some might look different from what you've seen before. For example, we have resistors in different physical sizes. The larger ones have a higher power rating than the smaller ones. It has nothing to do with the resistance. We just have to buy whatever is in stock with our suppliers when we get refills. Some of them are packed in tape, but that's also just because of availability. There's a thumb wheel potentiometer that you can adjust with your fingers, and we've included trimmer potentiometers for which you will need a small screwdriver. They do come in different sizes and shapes, but don't be confused, they are all the same thing, little adjustable resistors. Capacitors also come in different sizes, but there the capacitance can be related to the physical size. Again, some of them are shipped in tape. And then there are electrolytic capacitors. Just make sure you understand which one of the pins goes to ground, because this type of capacitor can blow up if polarity is reversed. We have LEDs in the package, infrared LEDs, and phototransistors in an LED housing that's all black. And we have reflective sensors combining one infrared LED and one phototransistor in one housing. Please resist the temptation to hook any of these up to your battery just for fun, because they break when they are operated without the proper resistor in series. We have 3.3 volt Zener diodes in the package, and remember, Zener diodes are always operated under reverse bias. The big slide switch has thick pins and is not usable on the breadboard. It's meant to be built directly into your robot as a main switch and connected with wires. There's a smaller one that fits on breadboards, and so does this tiny push button and this micro switch. These last two are momentary action switches. There are NPN and PNP bipolar junction transistors in the pack. Some of them come loose and some are taped. Be sure to keep them apart from the smaller one of the MOSFETs that we have included. They look exactly like the BJTs, but are operated in a very different way. The large MOSFETs are the ones that you will control your motors with. And these too have some evil twins that look the same but are totally different components. They are voltage regulators, one making 5 volts and the other one 3.3 volts. And talking about twins, have a look at these things. They all look the same, but that's an op-amp, that's a comparator, and this is an optocoupler. One thing to check about the TL82s in your kit, please make sure they're the IP models, not the CP. We had a wrong shipment of CP type chips and they do not work for this course. This IC is the most expensive component in your kit. They're around $13 each. You might have to bend the legs to get it into your breadboard, and this is one way to do it gently. Removing works best with screwdrivers, but you can also try other methods as long as you don't bend the legs. You probably still have a lot of questions. Many of them will be answered in class when you learn how to build circuits, but for some you might find the datasheets quite useful. Make sure you know how to find those, and more importantly, how to read them and to find relevant specs.